So the draw for Madrid has come out for the ladies, and it's a really stacked event. Of course, the best players in the world are playing this one. It's a massive draw as well. It goes over 2 weeks like Indian Wells and Miami, so let's get into it because we do have some big names that are also not playing. So only a couple of players have pulled out so far. We've got Danielle Collins, she's pulled out. Krejcikova also pulled out, and Vondrousova will also be missing from this tournament, but some big names are still playing, so let's go look at the top of the draw. All right, top of the draw, and we've got 32 seeds in this one, and every seed gets a bye in the first round. So Sabalenka, number 1 seed, she gets a bye in the first round. She'll take on a qualifier in the second round because 2 qualifiers are going at it. Then we've got Arango taking on Osorio. Winner of that will take on the number 28 seed Mertens in the second round. Then you got the number 22nd seed Putintseva. She gets a bye in the first round. Will take on either Tomanovic or a qualifier in the second round. Then you got Stearns versus Birrell. Winner of that will take on the number 15 seed Anisimova in the second round. So pretty interesting draw. Sabalenka, of course, has just come off the final of Stuttgart. She's got to play that tomorrow, but very interesting draw here. But of course, you got to watch out for Sabalenka. You got to watch out for Anisimova as well. Has won a big trophy this year and not bad on the fast clay courts. Could be a danger as well. Being on clay as well, she's made the French Open final. Also got to watch out for Mertens as well, who did play Sabalenka last week, unfortunately for her draw, but can play on the clay, and so can Putintseva as well. But also I'll be watching out for Osorio. She's a very dangerous player. Did win a tournament on the clay in Colombia as well, just after Miami. So very dangerous player there and can play on clay as well. Could be a problem. Next part of the draw, you got Badosa, the number 9 seed. She'll take on one of the Kudermetova sisters because we've got them playing each other in the first round. Very fun matchup. Then you got Lemens taking on Raducanu. Winner of that will take on the number 24 seed Kostyuk in the second round. Then you got the number 32 seed Kenin. Gets a bye in the first round. She'll take on either Sun or Gracheva in the second round. Then you got Kruger taking on Potapova. Winner of that will take on the number 8 seed Zheng in the second round. So interesting draw here, and some players that really kind of need some form and haven't played that much over the last couple of weeks due to injuries. But you got to watch out for Zheng. Also got to watch out for Badosa, of course. Watch out for Kostyuk as well, who did really perform on clay last year. Unfortunately, hasn't been doing much yet this year. And also watch out for Kenin. Has made a French Open final before, but the big ones, of course, you got to watch out for Raducanu. She's actually kind of been in some good form on the hard courts, especially, and really good opportunity here to maybe put herself into some clay court form as well. This could be a really interesting section of the draw. Next section of the draw, you got number 3 seed Pegula. She gets a bye in the first round. She'll take on either Lise or a qualifier in the second round. Then you got Uchiyama taking on Montgomery. Winner of that will take on the number 26 seed Jabeur in the second round. So Jabeur Pegula third round. That's a fire matchup. Then you've got the number 21 seed Alexandrova. She'll take on either Azarenka or Danilovic in the second round. Then you got Parks versus Kazantseva. Winner of that will take on the number 14 seed Kasatkina in the second round. So this is an interesting draw. It feels a little bit more wide open, this section of the draw. Of course, you've got to watch out for Pegula. You've got to watch out for Kasatkina. Got to watch out for Alexandrova, coming off a really good week last week in Stuttgart. And also on Jabeur, if she's healthy, she's won this tournament before, so very dangerous there. But also watch out for Danilovic. Did really well last week on the clay and made a final, so could be really dangerous as an unseeded player in this section. Next section of the draw, you got Rybakina, the number 10 seed. She'll take on either Kessler or Andreescu in the second round. Then you got Christian taking on Cartel. Winner of that will take on the number 17 seed Svitolina in the second round. Then you got the number 29 seed Lynette. She'll take on either Wong or Sakura in the second round. Then you got Bolter taking on Siniakova. Winner of that will take on the number 6 seed Paolini in the second round. So, interesting drawers again. I mean, there's a lot of interest in this section because there are a lot of dangerous unseeded players, especially in this part. And of course, there's players there that, are in form as well. Of course, you've got to watch out for Paolini, coming off a semi-final last week and beating Gauff in Stuttgart. Also got to watch out for Rybakina. Didn't play last week in Stuttgart, so this will be her first clay court tournament of the season. Got to watch out for Svitolina as well. Just came off winning a tournament last week in France, so in good form as well. But the unseeded players, you've got to watch out for Sakura, very dangerous on clay. Of course, she hasn't been great the last few months, but could be really dangerous as an unseeded player. Also Andreescu, really interested to see how she can come back. Haven't seen her play for a while. Did all right last week in her comeback, lost in a close 3-setter, so should be interesting to see her on this clay. Bottom half of the draw now, we've got the number 7 seed Andreeva. She'll take on either Zarazuha or Buzkova in the second round. Then you've got Moniro taking on Sharif. Winner of that will take on the number 27 seed Frey in the second round. Then you've got the number 18 seed Samsonova. She'll take on either Avanesian or Dollarhide in the second round. Then you've got a qualifier taking on Linda Fruhvirtova. Winner of that will take on the number 12 seed Mukova in the second round. It's a very interesting draw. Of course, we know the big name to watch out for in this section because she's been playing so well this year. But I don't know, Mukova also could be a danger. But you've got to watch out for Andreeva. Has had a great season so far. And I feel like this tournament, where she broke out a couple of years ago, could be something that she wins on top of the other tournaments she's won this year. Obviously, got to watch out for Mukova as well. Very dangerous player on all surfaces. Also got to watch out for Samsonova on these faster courts. Could suit her game to the clay. Next part of the draw, we've got number 16 seed Adajmaya. She'll take on a qualifier in the second round because 2 qualifiers are going at it. Then you got Bencic taking on another qualifier. Winner of that will take on the number 20 seed Towson in the second round. Then you got the number 25 seed Fernandez. She'll take on either a qualifier or Lee in the second round. Then you got another qualifier taking on Yastremska. Winner of that will take on the number 4 seed Gauff in the second round. So many qualifiers in this section, but the seeded players are very good clay court players and can be very dangerous. So it kind of is an interesting balance. But you've obviously got to watch over Gauff. Played really well until she came up against Paolini last week in Stuttgart. Obviously, you've got to watch over Towson as well. Has had a really good season so far. But also Adajmaya and Fernandez. Both of them can play on the clay. But the unseeded player is, of course, Bencic. Got to watch out for her. She's been so good this year in her comeback. And with this tournament, she's done well here before. So could be a bit dangerous. Next section of the draw, you've got the number 5 seed Key. She gets a bye in the first round. She'll take on the winner of Osaka or Bronzetti in that second round. So it could be a real blockbuster between Osaka and Keys. A champ v champ match in that second round. Then you got Kalinina taking on Bagu. Winner of that will take on the number 30 seed Kalinskaya in the second round. Then you got the number 19 seed Vekic. She'll take on a wild card because we've got the 2 wild cards, Castella and Baptiste, taking on one another. Then you got a qualifier taking on another wild card, Martinez. Winner of that will take on the number 11 seed Navarro in the second round. So yeah, this section here feels kind of the most open, I would say, because the seeded players here haven't got the greatest form on clay of recent times. And there's some unseeded players there that could be very, very dangerous. Of course, you've got to watch out for Keys, you've got to watch out for Navarro, got to watch out for Vekic as well, and Kalinskaya, who could be very dangerous at some tournament like this. But of course, Osaka. This tournament could be somewhere where she could thrive, especially if she can beat Keys in that second round and get a bit of an upset maybe. She could go on and do some damage here. And we saw how good she was against Swiatek at Roland Garros. So if she brings that tennis, she could maybe take this part of the draw. Bottom part of the draw now, we've got the number 13 seed Schneider. She gets a bye in the first round. She'll take on either Volley-Nets or Kvitova in the second round. Then you've got Sevastova taking on Pavlyuchenkova. Winner of that will take on the number 23 seed Ostapenko in the second round. Then you got the number 31 seed Noskova. She'll take on either a qualifier or Shrimkova in the second round. Then you got Tomova taking on Eala. Winner of that will take on the number 2 seed Swiatek in the second round. So Eala Swiatek rematch in that second round would be wild. But not only that, you also notice that Penko's in this section. We saw what Penko can do on clay against Swiatek last week. So it's going to be really dangerous. Swiatek, she's got a really tough draw, but of course you've got to watch out for her. She is the defending champion and is the clay court queen. You also got to watch out for Penko. Very, very dangerous in the final Stuttgart this week. Could be really dangerous again if she was to meet Swiatek. Also watch out for Noskova. Can push Swiatek and has beaten her before, but that was on a hard court, so we'll see if the surface difference makes any difference. And also watch out for Schneider. Hasn't been great this season, but maybe this could be an opportunity for her to do some damage. But the unseeded players, you've got to watch out for Kvitova, of course, former top 10 player, former Grand Slam champion, very dangerous player to play early in the rounds, but then the big one. You got to watch out for Eala because even though last week on the clay in the rainy conditions in Portugal, she wasn't as good as she was in Miami, she is still very dangerous. And if she plays Swiatek with the confidence level that she's at, and maybe the confidence level that Swiatek's at after losing again to Penko, that could be a really dangerous matchup for Swiatek and maybe could be another upset. But that is a crazy draw. That is the draw for Madrid. It is a stacked event. It's a massive event. 2-week event. Of course, these clay court events are now being extended to 2 weeks as these 1000s are all happening to be that way. If you look down the road, we're going to have this happen again as well in Canada and Cincinnati. But man, what a crazy draw. The bottom half of the draw is crazy stacked. Let me know in the comments below though, who's going to win Madrid? Can Swiatek go back to back? Can Sabalenka win here again? Because she has won here a few times and of course was this close to winning last year. Or do you think it's going to be someone different? Maybe Andreeva, maybe Gauff, maybe somebody unseeded is going to win this title this time around. But there it is, the Madrid draw. It starts in a couple of days' time and it is absolutely stacked.